It's me, Lauren, the filmmaker extraordinaire, and we're live with a monthly thoughts video. We love these monthly videos. At least I love making them. It's make sure I go live at least basically once a month. I know it is July 2nd, but it is fine. We're still talking about June. And I've got my phone here, so I'll be going through looking at like some pictures, talking about what I did this month. As always, if you have any questions about anything, please leave them in the chat and I will do my absolute best to respond, answer a question, a comment, whatever it is, unless it's creepy or weird, in which case I'll ignore it. Okay, let's get started. So, as everybody already knows, I kicked off June. Well, the first day of June, I was probably just panicking. But June 2nd, my twin Nicole and I flew to Las Vegas to kick off our big Grand Canyon Southwest road trip. So we didn't actually stay in Vegas like when we got there. We like pretty much immediately got our rental car and hit the road. So we stopped at the Hoover Dam. That was like the first thing we looked at, which was pretty cool, very big. Let's see, do I have a good picture of us by the dam? How do I have no pictures? Oh, well, I have a picture of it, but not of us right in front of it. But that's quite a big thing. And it was just, I don't know, it was weird to see something that you've like heard a lot about, or that like I've heard a lot about just in like history books, and just like like it's like a thing that everyone knows, a big landmark. So it was wild to actually see it in person, and it was really cool. And I think my sister was more excited than I was, because she was like, oh, thinking about like all the engineering and the math and physics or whatever involved in actually building the dam and how it works, versus I was like, ooh, cool, and then kind of moved on. But it was still like, I thought, pretty cool. But I was just really excited because I knew that the next day and that evening we were going to be into the Grand Canyon, which I was definitely more excited about because, no offense to Hoover Dam, but like Hoover Dam, Grand Canyon, like there's really no comparison. So we were originally planning on doing our sunrise hike the first day, like in the Grand Canyon, but we ended up getting to our hotel around midnight. And for us, that really felt like 3 a.m. So we were not waking up in 4 hours. I was like, this is not happening. I need to get real sleep. So we decided we would do our sunset hike that first night and then do the sunrise hike for our second day in the canyon, which worked out really, really well. And it was great. We woke up at 4:10 that day. I made a little sunrise vlog that will be going up on the 6th, so you can check that out when it comes out. But the canyon was just incredible. Like, it was massive, very awe-inspiring. And we only were on the south rim and only like a portion of it. I felt like it's definitely much bigger than my little brain can really fathom how really truly massive it is, and how like high up it goes, or how deep it goes rather, because we did a little bit of the Bright Angel Trail. And let me tell ya, as easy as it might be to go down sometimes, it is so much harder to do that same stretch back up. Like, so much harder. It's bonkers. I don't understand exactly how it's so much more difficult, but it is. And so we did the Bright Angel Trail, not the whole thing, just a solid chunker, for like a mile and a half maybe. Because it was hot and I was like loaded up with all my stuff, but it was awesome. Let's see. I think I have some photographs. This is me dramatically overlooking the canyon before our hike. Little did I know what was to come, which was to me breathing excessively. But I found this cool arch in the canyon, which I was like, ooh, gotta get a photo up. One of the really cool things that happened while we were doing the Bright Angel Trail was that we actually saw some like wild, I don't think they were sheep. Maybe it's a bighorn sheep. But we saw like a baby nursing from the mom of either like mountain goats or bighorn sheep. I think, I'm not confident. And that was awesome. I love wildlife, and we saw lots of lizards and like lots of squirrels throughout the whole trip. But like as far as big wildlife like bighorn sheep or goats, we only saw a couple times. So it was really exciting to see. And it made me feel like I was in the world. We did see some wild horses as well, Can't forget the wild horses. That was dope. Let's see. So we're on our hike still. We've made it. We finished the hike. I was truly thrilled when we were done with the hike and back up because it was tiring. It was a lot. And then the sunset was beautiful. I mean, this is from my phone and zoomed in, but like the colors were just so rich overlooking the canyon, like at the sunset. And we ended up like talking to this family that was also, we went to Powell Point for the sunset. And we went to like talking to this family who was also, like doing a little road trip. And that was nice. It was nice to have like some camaraderie kind of vibes and feelings. I guess it's pretty, I don't know. I feel like everyone was very nice, like on the hikes we would do. If we, we were taking breaks, different people taking breaks at similar spots, and everyone was very friendly throughout the whole trip. I don't think we really interacted with anyone who was like a meanie, so that was nice. And we did our sunrise hike, and that was also just stunning. I mean, the colors were just beautiful, and like it's hard to express like also the feeling that you get because obviously anyone can say go with sunrise is gorgeous, but to be at the sunrise, like looking out this vast, majestic space just made me feel like, wow. And the fact that that happens every day, like there's literally a sunrise every single day in the Grand Canyon, obviously. And for us, it was like this magical thing, but for like the canyon, if it was sentient, it just happens every day. And I don't know, that was bonkers to me. So definitely made me reflective, and I tried to get this picture of it in my glasses, and it looked insane. But I was very happy. That's all that matters to me. My happiness. Well, not just my happiness, but you know what I mean. Let's see. Then what else did we do? We went to the Desert Watchtower, which is pretty big. Like there's Nicole and there's the tower. Now it looks like it's supposed to be like some ancient creation, but it was actually designed to look that way. So it was not an ancient creation. I mean, it's old at this point, but it's not like archaic or by any means. And we got ice cream while we were there, because why not? And then we sadly had to leave the Grand Canyon to do our next trip, which was to Glen Canyon. And we saw the big thing in Glen Canyon, other than these rocks that looked, there were a lot of rocks that were like had shifted. So if you can see, like instead of going flat, they would like shift upwards. You could see all the different layers in the rock, which was pretty cool. But the big thing in this area that we went to see was Horseshoe Bend, which literally looks like a horseshoe. This picture looks like every single picture of Horseshoe Bend because I mean, there's really only like that big angle to get the photo from, so everyone gets their pictures from the same place, basically. But we also did a little hiking around the area, and it was really easy to get to Horseshoe Bend. Like there was a parking lot, and then you just had to like do a little hike to get to the lookout point. But that was probably like the highlight of that day, even though we did other things as well. Like we looked at the Glen Canyon dam as well because Nicole's really, really into those. Next thing you know, we're on to Monument Valley, which I, was very excited for Monument Valley. And we stayed at this super cute, like old hotel, Goulding's, like stagecoach lodge. Here's a picture of me in front of a stagecoach. Woohoo! Go Lauren! And there was like a little whole movie room about like the different movies that had been filmed like in Monument Valley and so like just that general area. So obviously we are thinking like Stagecoach. Is that the name of the movie? My brain is failing me right now. Embarrassing. I'm a film student. Well, filmmaker now. But is it John Wayne? I feel like that's the guy. Anyways, like the big Southwest cowboy movies was a whole room about that. And then we got to start taking our little tour of the area. And we got to see the very impressive monuments. This one was the Three Sisters. I mean, they were just huge and incredible. Like this is me, there's me on the point, the famous point with the monuments behind me. And it was just another awe-inspiring place to be in. I really think so. And I mean, it's just like you see these natural land formations, and it's like, how was this made to be this way? Like, how did the earth form? I mean, obviously there's like the wind erosion and the water or whatever, but when you're just right there, to me, I like it goes beyond just like the actual physics, and it just is very magical feeling to be in such a place. And I mean, it was just awesome. Like I just like so many pictures. We went under this arch that was like, I think they said called like the eye, like the eagle eye. And I just, it was so cool. It was so cool, honestly. Like, if you have to go anywhere, go to Monument Valley. And then we also went to the Forrest Gump point where he stops running, on his little run across the country where he's like, "Oh, here I am. I'm done running." So that was cool. Nicole was panicking about it because I was like obviously in the road, but it was really slow right there. Like they knew people were going to get out and go on the road, and there were tons of other people there. So it was really fine. Then we ended up accidentally running into like a historic Mormon fort, which was a fun time at Bluff. So if go there, but just be aware that you're going to be sidetracked into conversations. And then you're going to be like, I actually want to leave. What else did we do? Is this Canyonlands? Yeah. We went to Canyonlands to look at like different viewpoints, and we went to see the needles. So these are a bunch of different needles. They're just different rock formations that are all very like spiky, hence the name the needles. Canyonlands is huge. It has tons of different districts. I think it has 5 districts. We went to 2 of them, Needles and Island in the Sky. We did Island in the Sky a little later than we did the Needles because we did Needles, Arches, Island in the Sky. And it was again like another landscape that was like different because there was a lot of slick rock, which is just like rock as is. So it wasn't really sand, it wasn't as dusty, it was mostly just like rocks. And then you would see this like vegetation somehow growing in the rock. And it just is another marvel of how the world really like how life can persist in a lot of ways, which I appreciate because sometimes it feels like life can't persist at all. But then you actually go somewhere and you see, hey, look, there's a bush. And there shouldn't be a bush there, but there's like no rain and it's really hot, and yet it's there living its best life. So that was June 7th. I know we're only on June 7th, but I did a lot this month, and especially my trip. Then we went to Arches, which was unbelievable, like unbelievably cool place. I mean, this arch is double arch, so it's like you can see the 2 arches, and this was, I think, really high up there for me, and it was definitely Nicole's favorite arch, even though it's technically 2 arches, hence double arch. And we are twins, so it was like, ooh, the twin arches. But it was just insane how they form. Basically, there's these, they start by being a fin, and then water comes through, cracks it, and then the cracking ultimately will cause a bit of the inside to fall down. And this can also be kind of dangerous because if someone was under there, like they're still evolving. Like water is obviously still coming in through the rock, and eventually like these arches could be gone, but then there'll be new arches that have formed in other places in the around the park and just in general wherever these like fins can be. So it's kind of the sense when you're somewhere and you're witnessing like a piece of like a moment in time. And you could say that you're witnessing a moment in time, I guess, anywhere you go, but it especially feels that way when it's like a physical space that people have been looking at for hundreds of years, and it was just wild. And there were a ton of arches. Like this one was one of the window arches. So obviously it looks really different. The arches have different shapes, different atmospheres. We did a few little hikes around. And there was one arch that was like really cool. I thought it was just like there was all the sand. There was just this random tree under the arch. I mean, it was fascinating, and I another highly recommend. Then there was a one that was in sand, and there was one that was called the Broken Arch because there was like a very obvious seam in the arch. Now, this may make you feel nervous because like, oh my God, it's going to break on me, but I felt really safe because there was another arch that was closed off. So I was like, okay, they're obviously monitoring these arches. I'm not going to die right now. At least I hope that I don't die right now. Okay. Then we went to Moab, a little unsure. And this was when we went to see the Island in the Sky. And we're in the sky. That's basically how we're just like really high up. That's my sister. We're high up in this big plateau, and that's why it was called the island in the sky. So I thought that was cool. And this little cliff chipmunk got very close. I was eating apples, an apple maybe. I think I was eating an apple, and they wanted some apple. They did not get any. I'm very against feeding the wildlife. Oh no. Oh wait, okay, we're back. And then where are we? We're still not in the sky. We went back to Arches actually that night. Wait, where did you go to get dragged into conversation? Well, so the dragged in conversation was in we were driving along. This was a couple days before, and we went to Bluff Historic Fort, which was basically like a Mormon little like settlement. And there were just a ton of Mormons there, which is fine, but like they were just very chatty. And Nicole and I wanted like a 5-minute pit stop, and we ended up being there for like half an hour. So that's what I meant by like dragged into a conversation. Yeah. Everyone was really nice, very friendly. But we just wanted to get back on the road, and we were just kind of a little detained. I mean, we could have been rude and just like left, but I didn't want to be rude. I just wanted to have like a little exit. Let's see. Then we went to Goblin Valley. So here's a picture, and they're just like a ton of little boop boop boops, little things. Oh yeah, Waco, Texas. I have not been there, but I've heard of it. But with Goblin Valley, basically these things might look kind of short, but for reference, like they were definitely all taller than us pretty much, except for like maybe that little rock there, but like all the actual little goblins were all like taller. And some of them were much taller. And I just thought they were really cute. I really liked it. I think Nicole didn't love it. It was really hot. It was like 100 degrees, and there was very little shade. But I was really loving the little goblins. I thought they were cool. I felt very like creative. I feel like there were tons of stories that could have been told about these little goblin entity things. So I was living it. I was living it up. We also then did a slot canyon that day, and that was amazing. So slot can like they get really narrow, like the little slot canyons because of the water going through them. So that was just like such a cool experience. And I mean, look at that. Like that's amazing how it just moves because of the water coming through. They can be super dangerous. So if you ever want to go to a slot canyon, please make sure that there's no chance of any rain at all, because all the water will come right down to you, and it could cause flash flooding, and people have drowned. It's really not good. And then the next thing we did was we went to Capitol Reef National Park, which was really like a whole oasis. I mean, it was wild. Like there was actual like water, like a real water here. And there were like orchards. So if you go in season, you can actually go and like eat the fruit like from the trees and stuff. We were not in season, so there was no fruit to eat. But I was just mind blown that we've been in so much desert, and then to go somewhere that actually is water that enough that you can really hear the stream running. And I mean, it was just wow, like the houses like in the same general area. We also were staying in a covered wagon. It did have a door and air conditioning, but it was still super hot. But look how cute it is. That was our covered wagon. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. This is me thriving in front of the wagon. I mean, I was very happy. It was so cute. What else? We went to a petrified state forest. So I'm not sure if you guys know what petrified wood is, but basically it's like a tree that, it kind of dies, falls, and then as it rots, minerals and sediments come in, and then it fills in. So a organic life becomes a rock. Am I studying or job? Well, I graduated from college in May, and I just started working last Monday. So I do have a job in Los Angeles. That's where I'm currently in Los Angeles. So I have a job as my production assistant for a VFX company, which is a visual effects company. So that's pretty cool. And that's what I'm doing right now. But I haven't quite gotten to my job yet in my month. But I have a job. I'm a real adult. I have insurance that I pay. So much insurance. And I'm doing all the adulty things. So yeah, pretty whack. The so we went to the Petrified Forest. So here's a picture of where's a good picture that will really demonstrate this. This is the wood. I'm still looking. You're still looking for a job? I mean, I was looking for months and months for a job. So I totally empathize. And I sent out like well over 150 like resume applications, and it was really discouraging when I would just get like rejected like again and again, because I know I am qualified. I know I'm a qualified candidate. So definitely when especially if you don't even get an interview, it's like, okay, like, no, not even a chance to talk to me, get to know me at all. But then also, if you do get an interview and then you get rejected, then it's like, wow, I must stink as a person because my resume obviously was good, but like something about me they didn't like. So I worked really hard to try to not take things personally, but definitely sometimes it was felt very personal. Like when I was on my trip, there was a job that I had applied for, and I had done 3 interviews for this job, and then I didn't get that one. And I was just like crying about it because it was like, wow, 3 interviews, like that was a lot of my time. And it was tough doing any movie. So I'm currently working on 2 different scripts for projects that I'm working on, a limited series and then a feature film. But I'm not currently working on any production for any projects. I like within like 2 months, I wrapped up my senior thesis film. So that's hopefully going to be entering the festival circuit in the next few months. And then I will probably start working on another short film as well. I just don't have an idea for one yet, or not an idea that's like worth fleshing out. So yeah, that's my little update on like movie stuff for my personal projects. Kind of currently in a pause limbo state, but I really needed some time to just like focus on myself in the sense of like this trip and yeah. Oh, your friend and I are working on a film story idea. Well, that's awesome. I mean, obviously I'm biased, but I love films. I love storytelling. And I think, especially trying to tell stories that haven't been told before or with a new angle, a new perspective. I mean, I think that's really the best thing you could do as a filmmaker or I mean, obviously everyone's different, but I think if you want to tell stories, film is such a great medium to do so. So good luck. I would love to hear some more about it sometime. What was I saying? Um, yeah, so we went to see the Petrified Wood, and we also did a little hike in the Escalante thing. Well, thank you. It's very kind of you to say that. I'm your favorite YouTuber. I am gonna try to come live more often. I did also make a Twitch, which is the Lauren Show. Unless I am crazy and I messed that up, but I'm pretty sure it's the Lauren Show. And you should come over there because I'm hopefully going to be going live on Twitch 3 times a week. Not this past week because I was like moving and getting my life together, but I'm hoping to go live Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. So you should check me out on Twitch. In alternate history, where Ronald Reagan is a I can't even pronounce it, totalitarian dictator. Oh wow, that's very interesting. Is it like a short, like a whole feature? Are you doing like I guess you're doing like a lot of research to make it like accurate, but then you're obviously gonna make it not accurate as well. So that's cool. Your vlogs are awesome. Thank you. But I sleep this time usually. Yeah, I mean, I don't know exactly what time I'll be doing stuff because I used to do a lot of things like based on the East Coast. Now I'm on the West Coast, so I have to figure out a time when like my audience is like around to actually watch my videos and stuff. But I'll be figuring I'll probably do different times for things just depending on the day and what's up, but um I'll usually, like, most likely be doing lives later than this, so I'm not sure when you sleep this time, usually how much longer you're usually are sleeping for. It's hard to try to make videos accessible for everybody, like, live because, especially since I do have a job, I can't stay up too late, which would be then early, so the Hollywood vlog was awesome. I'm not even sure which Hollywood vlog, but that's good. Um, I'm very excited to be, like, back in LA, Hollywood area, so I'll definitely be doing more vlogs, like, travel vlogs as I do things. It's just been you know, a pause because of I've just been moving and everything, like, I just moved in, like, a week ago, so everything's just been really hectic, but I'm hoping to just, like, get back into making videos and some more commentary stuff as well as my vlogs. That's what I really like to do, like a mix of content, and it's really just fun for me, and it's fun for me to have an excuse to edit because I'm not editing in my current position. So, any way that I can kind of get my stuff um, to create is what I like to do. Here's more petrified wood. It even makes geodes. The park with the rotating ball. I think I did a zoo video where there was a rotating ball. I don't even know. I do too many videos. I can't keep track of everything, but I will ponder this. Try to come up with whatever that is. Let's see. So then we went to Bryce Canyon, which if you've never been to Bryce Canyon, you need to go. It has some more like needly points and also it has trees. And something amazing about Bryce Canyon is that it's like super rich in red colors because of the sediments and minerals. But there's still trees. So there's like greens and reds, and it's so vibrant. Like it's much more colorful than the Grand Canyon, much smaller than the Grand Canyon, but much more colorful. So highly recommend you go. And you can also get pretty high up. Like we were at the elevation at Bryce Point in Bryce Canyon was like 8,300 feet, which is pretty high up. So it was pretty cool. Um, I mean, just like this is the picture for my thumbnail, but I mean, look how beautiful there's me, but like, look how beautiful this is. I mean, stunning, gorgeous. Then we went to Zion, which was insane. We got like the watchtower or the watchman big mountain thing. And Zion was very beautiful, but it was another place that had like real running water, which I appreciate. And we even did a river crossing. So you can see more stuff. And by a river crossing, I mean literally we crossed the river. Like my socks were wet for the rest of the day. Visit more places in America. Hey, I would love to visit more places in America. I can't afford to visit everywhere in America right now, but I will do my best to, one day if I ever like make real money from like YouTube or anything, I will definitely put it into traveling more because I love that and bringing you guys along with me on my travels. My past trip, I did do some vlogs. I did like two really that I like made, but I did want to make sure that I was really spending most of the time with my sister because then we were going in our separate ways. She's on the East Coast, I'm on the West Coast now. So I didn't vlog the whole trip. But if I ever were to kind of go on a more trip where I was planning on vlogging more, like a more cohesive, like this is going to be making a lot of content while still like having fun, or traveling somewhere where there's like it's less of a sentimental visit, then I will definitely be vlogging a lot more because it's so much fun, and I'm so happy that you really enjoy watching the vlogs that I make when I do that. Let's see. And then we wrapped out our trip in Vegas. We stayed at the Paris Hotel in Vegas, and that was really fun. We saw O at the Bellagio, which is a Cirque du Soleil show. I've never seen Cirque du Soleil before, so that was really awesome. Let's see. And I got one drink in Vegas, so that's me with my one drink. Woohoo! Living it up. And then we left, and it was wild to have like these 2 weeks with my sister, just traveling around, and definitely very precious memories. And I haven't even finished going through any like all the photos yet by any means, but it was just a wonderful trip. And it really, I mean, it was like half the month, like so solid. Is that place is in that you, your sister, and mother visited that place? Must be the zoo. I think it must be the zoo video um, that you're talking about. And then we did have a little college party, little graduation party. We got a cake. It says, "Congratulations, Nicole and Lauren, for graduating from college." And we had like our relatives come over and a couple of people, mostly relatives, come over. So that was a nice little celebration because then, pretty soon after that, I was moving to California. We spent Father's Day at the beach like we always do. We always go to the beach for Father's Day. That's like our family tradition. And then I was packing like crazy to prepare to move into my new apartment. I got a car. When we got to LA, yes, I graduated from Temple University in May, which is surreal. I'm no longer a student. I mean, I'm a student of life, but I'm no longer like a student. Um, but yeah, I got a car. She's stunning. We love her. Her name is Stella. And I found a new church. I found my office for work. And yeah, so now it's been a week and I've been working as a production assistant, doing a variety of tasks. I'm finally feeling pretty much moved in. There's still two things I want to hang up, but I haven't decided where I want to hang them yet. And yeah, that's been my month pretty much. And now it's now it's July, and it's my first full month in California. So lots of big things coming. Many big institutions in the US. Yes, there are a ton of big institutions in the US. Um, but they all have different perks, I would say. I loved Temple. I thought it was a great school, and I learned a lot, and I made a lot of amazing friends. And yeah, that's that. Like my roommate went to Temple as well, so that's nice. Yeah, I know a lot of people will come to the US to go to school. I know that that's a big thing, and it's always I think it's nice to have, like, a lot of like, if there's any, like, international students because there's just a lot of perspectives that I think like, I try really hard not to just get, like, in my own little bubbles of things. I think it's really easy to kinda find yourself in a bubble, so I'm definitely working on not being a bubble. Harvard and Oxford, yeah, I mean, those are big, and those are, like, big name schools. Like, I think everyone knows Harvard and Oxford, though Oxford is not in the US. So, um, yeah. Alright, well, I am appreciating the chat activity, the conversation, but I stupidly didn't bring any water, and I've been talking for 35 minutes, so my throat is dying. I'm gonna go get something to drink and probably wrap up this vlog or this live stream. But again, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Make sure you come with me when I come live again next month. And I did make a Twitch, so you can find me on Twitch if you want to see me go live more often. And I'll see you next time. Bye. Mm, mhm, mm.